everyone, it's Lauren from SpentIntentionally.com, where we help you manage your resources of time, money, and energy so that you can spend it on what matters most to you, and so that you can look back on your life and say that you spent your resources intentionally. And so today I want to talk to you about toy clutter. If you're a parent, you know exactly what I mean when I say toy clutter. I remember having really good intentions about minimizing toy clutter before we had our daughter, and I said, I only want my daughter to have 5 toys. She doesn't need a ton of toys. She can have like 5 or 10 toys. And now that I'm a parent, I look back on that and I just laugh. Because if you're a parent, you know that toys just seem to multiply. I don't know how they do, but my daughter was 1 year old and I looked around and I thought, how did she get 10 stuffed animals? We've only bought her 1. How does she have so many books? Why do we have the same 2 of the same toy? And I found myself, although we had a separate room for her toys, I found myself looking around and becoming really anxious and also frustrated with clutter. And so I would, although the toys were contained to the den, typically they were contained chaos, it was still chaos, and it was really, really bothering me. And so I thought, we have to do something about her toys. We either have to get rid of half of them, or we have to find a system where we can make her toys more manageable and make this space just more enjoyable. And so I looked into a toy rotation, and many of them online were these super moms that had these totes or containers with for every day of the week, and it would have a book in there and a stuffed animal that went along with the book and an activity for the day. And I thought, number one, my daughter's only 1. Number 2, I am not that super mom, and to come up with a new activity every day that goes with this theme is just too much. It would be overwhelming to me, and I would just grow really frustrated, and then I would just not do it at all. And so I needed something that was very, very simple, very easy to implement, and was something just realistic. So I looked at all of her toys, and I thought, okay, if I divide her toys into 3, that number seems like a good amount of toys to have each day. And so I didn't have any special system about what toys went into what, except that I basically just said, okay, this is a sorting toy, I'll just separate those into different bins. This is a stacking toy, she has 2 of those, I'll put those in different bins. This is a larger toy, so we'll have those on separate bin days. And then with her books, I simply just said, okay, this is a touchy-feely book. I can divide those into different piles, and this is a flap book, or this is a sentimental, mushy-gushy, you know, you are special, when I pray for you, I wish I could keep you little, those type of books. And I thought we could have one of those every day. And then I simply just divided the rest, eeny, meeny, miny, moe style. And then I did that with her stuffed animals. I tried to just go, okay, this is her favorite, this is her favorite, and this is her favorite. So we'll separate those so she can have a favorite every day. And so then I just put all of those items in a different tote, and I don't have like every day we rotate toys out. I am kind of more of a when I feel like it person, and so when I feel like she's played with these a lot, or she's kind of getting tired of them, every 2 or 3 days typically, I'll bring out a new tote. And I cannot tell you how well the system has worked. I went into it really wanting to do it for myself. It was kind of a selfish thing. That I just needed the space to be cleaner for me. And I figured if I was feeling it, my husband was probably feeling it, and my daughter was probably feeling it too. She's just too young to communicate that. And so I found there to be so many benefits, right? The first one, I'll talk about the benefits now. The first one was what I intended, is that her toys are just way more manageable. Picking up is much easier. I can do it in 5 minutes. I don't think, oh, we have to clean up the toy room tonight. It's just, okay, let's just do a 5-minute pickup and everything can be back in its spot. And so that's, I mean, a pretty simple benefit that you probably expected. But there's also benefits that I didn't really think of that have happened as well, and benefits that I'm seeing in my daughter. She's playing with all of her toys now and not just a select few. She's she used to, I feel like when she had all of her toys at her disposal, it got so chaotic that I don't think she was able to really distinguish or see that there were different toys. It was just chaos. And so I find now that she has fewer toys to choose from, that she actually can see everything, and she's playing with all of her toys now, not just a handful. And I also find that she's playing with them longer, each toy for a longer period of time. It's keeping her attention span a little bit more. And she's also playing with them in more creative ways. And so, like for instance, her animal puzzle, she'll do her puzzle as intended. She'll also put them in like baggies, put them in different containers, and then she'll like throw them down the slide. Same with her blocks and things like that. And so I actually was kind of wondering, okay, I want this selfishly to keep the clutter down. Am I just making these other benefits up? And so I just did a quick Google search, and it did not take me long to find studies that researchers have done on the effects of the number of toys kids have and the benefit of having fewer toys. And it found exactly what I saw in my daughter that I had observed, that when they were given fewer toys, that kids played with them longer and that they were more creative than kids who were given, 4 times as many toys available to them at one time. And so that's been a really cool benefit. And then the third benefit is that I feel like every morning or every few days when I rotate a bin out, it's like Christmas morning. And I didn't really think about this until the first day I did it. My daughter, whenever I bring a new tote out, loves it. It is like Christmas to her. She sees this big present with a lid on it, right? And she just wants to take it off and pull everything out and start playing with it, because it's kind of like, oh, what do I get to play with today? And it's one of her favorite things to do is to take things out of things and put things into things. And so it's a perfect match. But something else I really like that we do is, you can see the wired baskets behind me. And something that we always say is, Callie, who came to play with you today? Because not all of her stuffed animals are out at once. And so we just say, Callie, who came to play with you today? And she'll run over to her wired basket and she'll pull her stuffed animal out and hug it, because it's so fun that she doesn't know day to day what stuffed animals are going to be in her basket. And so it's a surprise for her, and it's one of my favorite times of the day. And so I hope that you can find a system with your toys, whether that is getting rid of half of your kids' toys, whether I've heard of parents storing, almost packing up all of the toys. When you move, it's a really good time, but you can do it anytime, like packing up all the toys and only getting toys out as your kids ask for them, which tells you that they can remember the toys and that they care about them and that those toys are important to them. That can work if you have older kids. My daughter can't communicate that right now. Or maybe a toy rotation, like I just described, could be really helpful. If your kids are really attached to their toys, if storing up all of their toys would be traumatic, maybe a toy rotation would be helpful. And it's as simple as, they aren't going away. We just get to play with different ones each day. We'll get to play with that one tomorrow. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. I'm excited for you to play with that one tomorrow too. And so maybe a toy rotation could work for you as well. So if toy clutter doesn't bother you, then by all means ignore this video and keep doing what you're doing. But if, like me, you find yourself feeling frustrated and anxious with all the toy clutter, especially as we're spending so much time at home now, then maybe a toy rotation could be beneficial to you. So let me know any other tips or tricks down below on how to manage toy clutter. I'm a new parent. I know I'm not an expert, and so I can use all of the advice I can get, and we can all kind of share ideas to help each other out. So I hope you guys are all staying healthy and happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.